About private investigating like this. She's investigating privates like this. I just she said like this. I was like this, and then Charlie Brooke was like, "That's a funny doll, Charlie. You're so why are you Charlie? Why didn't you blame me, Charlie?" So he said, "Why didn't you do the Mona Lisa Murder?" I said, "They're in hell already." Anyway, it's probably a cop. He's bald. Did you see that bald guy look like Chuck Palahniuk? You know, put Chuck Palahniuk. You know, Chuck Palahniuk. Considers to be a day night move outfit like this. Donald Trump soon. I said Donald Trump. I meant Elvis. Somebody said, "Oh, when's a horror story?" I was like, "Oh, the horror story. This is just my breath in the morning. Is that chemicals or death? What if it's chemical death?" Okay, I have got a horror story for you. I used to do this quite a lot, like this, to make it stories. To fill the time, basically. I was just thinking, like, you know what I mean? Like, back in the day, communists used to go on the run from the law and steal movies for you all to watch. Like, I was sort of in the philosophy class in a minute, so I was sort of thinking about it more than I was watching it. Nazi bunker and steel water. There was hundreds of thousands of tons. You know, they're in there for 20 years. Once upon a time, in Victorian London, came upon the people a great pagan revolution just before the Nazi uprising, where it became fashionable to be the wicked witch in the Brothers Grimm's book. And all the whores used to dress up like the bad witch, like this. It's just about the time Jack the Ripper was an active serial killer. But actually, Jack the Ripper was the monarchy, because he only ever killed people who were dressed in black. What used to happen is, all the whores, the all men, in the middle of London, like this, all the women were pushed to the outskirts of London by trappy trollops, who were private school boys whose parents had fallen into gambling jail. And they were the secret lovers of the oi polloi, and they used to walk up and down the street with the theatres of an evening like this, and then the whole point of their lives was to go and buy a new suit that was more sexy than the guy stood next to them. What happened was, one day a preacher came from Germany, and he was always homophobic, man, and he was so white like this, he made Johnny Brooke look like suspiciously slightly tan. What he used to do is go to Hyde Park of an evening like this, and order all the whores off the street like this, under threat of death like this. He said he'd have them all strung up like hung for stealing, like, because that place, before the whores were there, it used to be a place where pickpockets hung out, which you know if you ever watched Tipping the Velvet. And they used to play a game called What's the Time, Mr. Wolf, where the preacher would, in a fulmination of rage, challenged him to see if they could pick his pocket. If he caught them, he would shank them with a fish hook he had from his own days when he used to live in Norfolk. Basically, the game was so popular and wildly excitingly dangerous that whoring fell off all over London, and the nonsense took up pedophilia again, which is how the socialist government came back into power. Basically, by the end of it, it killed hundreds and hundreds of boys, stolen their suits, and then sold them back on the market, while everybody was drunk, drinking bathtub gin. To this day, they still say it's dangerous for well-dressed young men to walk the park in London of an evening, especially in groups, since they've got